Alright, how's everybody doing today? Back again with another video for you guys. And today what I have for everyone is my full review of the Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0 ENEGON power bank. Alright, now I've been using this for a while and I think I got a handle on everything I want to cover for you guys. So I figured it's full review time. So now I know you guys may see a lot on the table, but we're going to talk about that as we progress through the full review. But starting off, the first thing I want to cover with you guys is the overall build quality and design of the power bank. Now from a build quality and design, as far as it comes to power banks, I would have to say that this is one of the best. There's no rattling or creaking of any kind, and the one button for the digital display is very tactile and has a nice reassuring click to it. So that's a real nice plus there. Other than that, this guy is very grippy, and I want to say it's aluminum because the main frame on the outside is always cold to the touch after it's been sitting. So I want to say that's aluminum. But you also have your glossy brush finish around the ports and around the general information. So there's that. But all in all, I gotta say, again, the build quality and design on this power bank is actually very, very good. Now, moving on, let's talk about some of the core features in this guy. Now, one, as you can see, which is clearly displayed on the front, is that it supports Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0, which is not the latest and greatest by today's standards, but for the price, this is actually pretty good. I think now they have Qualcomm 4.0 out in some areas. I don't know if it's widely available yet, and I don't know many devices that support it. But as of today, I think Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0 is the one that's widely available and supported by most devices. So it's nice to see that this power bank supports that. So you're getting your absolute fastest charge where you use that Qualcomm Quick Charge port there. The other one is a standard charge with a maximum output of 2.4. Okay, so there's that. Other features include, you got your digital display. So no longer now do you have to guess what those 4 circles mean. You got a nice clear digital readout, and that makes battery management even easier. Alright. Next, you have USB Type-C charging on this guy. So you're going to get some of the fastest top-up speeds around. But keep in mind, and we're going to talk about this more when we go over battery life, if you use your standard charger, you will need a USB Type-C adapter to charge this guy. But your standard charger will make it charge slower. We're going to cover that more when we go over the overall battery life and the charge times. Okay? So there's that. And lastly, with this guy here, you can charge 2 devices simultaneously. So that's a big plus for me. And as you guys already know, I did a lot of research before picking this power bank up, and it actually has all of the features that I believe a power bank should have today. So being able to charge 2 devices simultaneously, having a nice clear digital readout, and having a nice big capacity. Again, this one is 10,000 milliamp hours, and being able to charge at the fastest capacity possible. In this case, is Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0. So that pretty much covers all of the features of this power bank here. So up next, let's go over a few things. So as I've said, I've had this guy for a while, and I've literally charged pretty much everything on this table at least 3 times. Now, this is my wireless charger here, and now I don't know how many of you guys do this, but I was actually somewhere where I didn't have access to any charging ports, but at the same time, I didn't feel like plugging in my device, and I just so happened to have my my wireless charger in my bag, so I plugged it up with the power bank, and I just dropped my phone on it and let it charge. And I was still able to interact with it, take my phone calls and do my text messages, snap a few photos, and still be able to make sure that the device was charged. And you know, on a side note, when my little nieces saw this, they were like, "Wow, Uncle E, that's how you charging your phone?" I'm like, "Yeah." They were like, "But it's not plugged in." I was like, "Well, baby, the wireless charger is plugged in, and as long as the wireless charger is plugged in, I just gotta drop my phone on it and then the charge." And they were like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." It was like, "Wow." So the look of amazement on their face when they saw that, you know, yeah. So there's that. But again, getting back on task, this guy can charge a bevy of things. You can see this is the carrying charger for my earbuds. Then we have my Moto X Pure Edition. We got the Jam Replay Bluetooth speaker. And a lot of this stuff I charged at once. So in particular, I was charging up my my wireless Bluetooth earbud case while charging my Moto X Pure Edition. And then also I was charging my phone while charging up the Jam Replay Bluetooth speaker. So, as I've said, being able to charge two devices simultaneously, at least for me, is a really big feature, because I got a ton of stuff, and a lot of it is battery powered, so a lot of it needs to stay charged. So, that's that. Now, moving on, let's talk about the durability of this power bank. Now, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but there is a little ding right there. Right there. Because when I was unboxing this guy, I think I said it in the unboxing and first impressions. Originally, I accidentally cut the tapes and was holding the box upside down, so everything kind of fell out. And I have wooden floors. So this guy cracked the wooden floor, and I'm like, damn, I hope I didn't break it. I was like, oh man, I hope I didn't waste some money. But it came on, powered right up, and I didn't have any issues with it. Then again, you guys know I usually keep this with the rest of my power banks, which is in my backpack. And one day I went to grab a power bank out my backpack, and this guy fell out and cracked off the concrete. And again, I'm like, man, damn, I keep dropping this. And so I checked it, made sure it was working, and it still worked just fine. So, and then it did have a few more drops around the house while I was charging certain things. It fell off of my table here because I did use this in another video, which y'all will see on the channel soon. So, yeah. So in terms of durability, I'd have to say that this guy is pretty good. Like, you can see a dink there where it kind of chipped the aluminum finish. And like I said, it fell here. It's still clean there. And it fell here. So for the amount of falls that this guy has went through, to have that one dink, that's pretty good. 'Cause I think it dropped about 7 times in my week of usage so far. Or, yeah, a little bit over a week now. A little bit over a week. But yeah. So, all in all, I have to say the durability on this guy is pretty good. Pretty good indeed. Now I just want to point out that there is absolutely no waterproofing on this guy whatsoever. And the manufacturer did not specify. So please keep these things away from water. Otherwise, you will damage it. Much like my Terragrade power bank, which got some water damage and is no longer with us. If these guys get wet or get soaked to the point where the battery cell itself gets immersed in liquid, it will be damaged, if not unusable. So please do not keep these away from all liquids. Just wanted to point that out in case you guys were going to ask, well, is it water resistant or anything like that? No, it is not. But again, in terms of durability, this power bank is quite good. Now next, moving on, what I want to talk about now with you guys is the overall charge times and the battery life. Now, again, the manufacturer stated in the user manual to get the absolute fastest charge, you want to use a quick charge enabled charger. Now, y'all know I got a bunch of quick chargers around. I got Lumsync chargers. I got turbo chargers. I'm loaded to the gills with fast chargers. So finding a fast charger was not an issue. Manufacturer also said that if you don't have a fast charger, it would still take about 5.5 to 6 hours to reach a full charge using a regular standard charger. Now, I actually tested both of those extensively, and I found that to be right on the money. Keep in mind that with the power banks, depending on where you charge it, you decide to charge it. So whether you want to drain it all the way, or maybe you want to charge it at 20% or 15% or 10%, it may charge slower or faster depending on where you plug it in the charger at, and depending on what type of charger you use. But in my particular results, the large majority of during my review process was done with a fast charger or a turbo charger, and it actually charged up in about 3.5 hours to 4 hours. So that's well in between, or spot on, what the manufacturer said in the user manual. So that's nice. Now, when I did charge it up with a regular charger, I think I did that about 3 times. It did land somewhere around the 5.5 hour mark. And in other cases, it was 6 hours. So again, right on the money there. Keep in mind, it all depends on what charger you use to charge this guy, and when you decide to put this power bank on the charger to charge. Your results may vary because we all use our products differently. And those were just my results. So, in terms of charge time, I would say that it's pretty good. Pretty good indeed. For everything that you could charge and the amount of charges that you get out of it, I would say it's pretty good. Pretty good indeed. Now let's talk about the overall battery life of the power bank here. Now, this is where it may vary. Now, if you're charging something like this, or you got wireless earbuds, or you got a nice little charging cradle, in particular, this one is 1500 milliamp hours. I actually was able to charge this guy about 2 to 3 times. Then, if you have like a smartphone, keep in mind, your speed may vary depending on whether or not you have the smartphone on and you have your data syncing to it and all that good stuff. So in my case, I charged the Moto X Pure Edition, and I also charged the LG G6. Now, when I was charging the Moto X Pure Edition, this guy has a 3000 milliamp hour battery and a Quad HD 5.7 inch display. Now, when I was charging this guy completely powered off, I was actually able to get about 2 full charges out of this guy. When I was charging this guy with it powered on, I was actually able to get about roughly about 1.5 charges. Keep in mind, I had my Wi-Fi on, all of my stuff pushed into the device. So that plus the display waking up and having the display on draws more power. Yep. Now, when it comes to Bluetooth speakers, I actually charged the Jam Replay here about twice, but I also was charging my Sylvania Bluetooth speaker. That's the big boy. It's off camera, way off camera over there in the corner. And yeah, I was actually able to get 2 full charges on that and 2 full charges on the Sylvania. Alright? Keep in mind, a large majority of this stuff, I was charging 2 things at once. So in particular, when I was charging the Jam Replay, I was also charging the Sylvania. So that again will draw more battery. And something I want to point out is that when you're using the quick charge port on this guy, you'll only get quick charge out of that port. And then when you go to plug something else in, it will cap it to try and smartly reserve battery power. So on some instances, I was charging something via quick charge, and then I plugged in something else, and I noticed that it was charging at a slightly slower rate. Other instances, let's say when I was charging two smartphones simultaneously, for example, I noticed that one was getting quick charge speeds and the other one was getting capped at like 500 milliamps or 1000 milliamps. So I think that's a smart sensor in there, and it was trying to cap off some of the battery usage so it didn't drain as fast. So I want to point that out as well. But all in all, in terms of overall battery life, I would have to say that this guy was pretty good. I found that it pretty much was able to last me at least 2 days, regardless of what I was charging. Alright? So, keep in mind, your results may vary depending on what you charge and whether you charge things simultaneously or not. So, we're all a little different, as I said, and we all use our things differently. But that, again, covers the overall battery life on this guy. Now, I just want to cover some positives and negatives for you guys. Then we're going to move on and talk about the price, and I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts and a recommendation or two. So, let's start off with some of the positives here. Again, as I've stated throughout this video, this guy supports Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0. So you're going to get the absolute fastest charge available if your device supports that. Also, this guy can charge two devices simultaneously, so that's another good plus there. This one has a decent size capacity to it at 10,000 milliamp hours, so that's another plus. So you're going to be able to get at least 2 to 3 full charges out of anything that you charge. Keep in mind that also depends on the battery capacity of what you're trying to charge and whether or not it supports the quick charge capability. Alright? Alright. Also, you have this nice digital display. So now a lot of the guesswork out of, okay, how much power is left in my power bank is now out of the equation. That's nice. And also, this one has plug and play charge technology built in. So all you have to do is plug in the cables, and as soon as you plug in the device, it will detect it and start charging. Alright? And then once the charging stops, it will detect it and turn itself off. So that's really, really nice. Alright, now let's jump into some negatives. And really, there are not too many. One, I wish this guy had a few more ports. Two, although USB Type-C is nice and it does provide a slight speed bump when charging, a lot of the devices I have are still micro USB. So I found myself using this adapter quite often. Okay? And the fact that I'm not able to charge the power bank itself without the adapter on, that's a negative in my book. They should have stuck to micro USB. Keep in mind, that's just in my opinion. If you wanted to add USB Type-C, you could have added a USB Type-C port for charging USB Type-C devices. Okay? Could have did that. Or made that port reversible, so you not only could you charge a USB Type-C device, but you can also charge the power bank itself if you choose to. That's something I felt they should have did. So the fact that they didn't do that, that's a negative right here. Okay? Another negative, which can also be a positive, is the times that it took to charge. Now, as I said, this one was right on the money. If I used a supported quick charge, it actually charged within 3.5 to 4 hours, which is right on the money, as stated by the manufacturer. If I use a regular charger, it actually took about 5.5 to 6 hours. Again, which is right on the money as stated by the manufacturer. But I feel that that could have been faster, okay? Granted, this guy did last me two to 3 days on a full charge, depending on what I was charging, but I still feel the charging times could have been reduced. So there's that. And other than that, there's no real negatives here. I mean, a few things that may have been nice is maybe if they incorporated a flashlight, but that, you know, that's neither here or there. That's personal preference. But a flashlight would have been nice. Let's say I needed to plug up something late at night and I didn't want to go through the trouble of turning on my nightstand lights or getting up and turning the room light on. Having that built-in flashlight, I could have just activated it and then plugged in what I needed to plug in, made sure everything was charging, and then deactivated it and went back to bed. Excuse me, guys. So it would have been nice, but it's neither here nor there for me. But that can be a positive or a negative for some people. I decided to slot that in the negative category because I do have power banks with built-in lights in them. So that's what I'm saying. But again, that pretty much wraps up the positives and negatives of this power bank here. So let's keep it moving. Now we've reached the end of the video, and this is where I want to talk about the price. So I picked this guy up via Amazon, and as always, please remember that I have Amazon Prime. So I got the free 2-day shipping. And if you don't have Amazon Prime, you still have to factor in shipping and handling and taxes wherever applicable. Now, I picked it up from Amazon, and I do have Amazon Prime. And when everything was said and done, I paid about $30. And this guy got here extremely quickly, so kudos to the manufacturer and kudos to Amazon. Great job, guys. And you guys may be wondering, for $30, can I recommend that you guys pick up this power bank? And I would have to say yes. And in some instances, I may even say you may want to pick up 2. Because as y'all know, I was actually trying to phase out some of my older power banks because some of them don't have quick charging technology in them. And I can deal with not having the digital display, but I actually find that the having to remember what the actual LED lights mean, you know, you have 4 LED lights. So if one deluminates, that means you have 3 left. So that means you're at 75%. Or just about that. If you got 2 left, that means you're at 50%. If you got 1 left, you're at 25%, or maybe it's about to die. So I do prefer a digital display, but I can deal with not having one. So yes. But what I can't deal with is not having the fastest charging capabilities possible. So you guys know I've reviewed a bunch of power banks on this channel, and I'm slowly phasing out the power banks that don't have the fastest charging technology possible, which is today Quick Charge 3.0. So right now in my portable to-go bag, I keep 2 Quick Charge 3.0 power banks. I keep this one, and I keep the Neck Tech Quick Charge power bank as well. So we're going to add this one to the rotation and take out all the others. So do I recommend this, guys? Yes. For $30, yes. This is a definite pickup. And again, you may want to pick up 2. Depending on what you have to charge and whether or not you're going to be somewhere not around a plug, you may want to pick up 2. And you know, it's also good to have these things charged up and ready to go in your emergency bags, just in case of an emergency. You know, you can still charge the devices you need to keep in contact with people. So yeah, not only is this convenient, but it's also very good in case of emergency. So again, I do recommend this. Alright guys, I think that pretty much does it for this review. If you guys enjoyed the video, please help your boy out and give it a thumbs up. That really does help me out. You don't know how much. If you want to see more raw, uncut content like this, please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. and click off the notification bell icon right next to it so you make sure you receive notifications every time I post new videos. As always, guys, don't forget all links to where to purchase this guide, as well as everything you see in this video, will be down in the video description at the best possible price. Alright? And as always, if you know anyone out there looking for some high quality, affordable devices or products at some really great prices, please share with them my channel, because I'm doing this for everyone, because we all deserve the best. Alright guys, I hope everyone has a great day, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Peace. I also want to point out that this video was being recorded using the cameras on the LG G6 at 1080p resolution at 30 frames a second. So you guys please let me know how the audio sounds, and please let me know how the video looks. And again, this one was shot in particular using the wide angle cameras on the LG G6. I thought it would be nice, and it also lets me get everything neatly in the frame just about without having to squish it in. So I still got a ton of space here, and everything is in the frame. So I thought using the wide angle cameras would be nice. Anyways, just wanted to throw that in case you guys were wondering. I hope everyone has a great day, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Peace.